Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time it is, wherever you are around the globe. My name is James Mwangamba, and I'm very delighted that you could take a few minutes of your time to travel with me as we explore the 10 great businesses to do during COVID or in COVID economy. So if you're getting to know me for the very first time, I'm a business coach, a leadership consultant, and also an author of a book, best-selling author of a book called Breakthrough: How to Succeed Financially in Challenging Economic Times. I'm also the CEO of a company called Breakthrough Performance that has presence in a few countries around Africa. Our major job in Breakthrough Performance is to deliver corporate development training programs to corporations, organizations, companies, and businesses. So today I'm delighted to be able to bring you this very vital, important subject, because one of my passions is to speak to people about entrepreneurship, especially young people. And that's why when I got the invitation from All Truth Abiders about doing this program on the East African Youth Economic Summit, when they asked me to talk about the 10 great businesses to do during COVID economy, I was extremely delighted. Now, let me begin by saying this. Many times I'm always saddened to see a lot of young people not valuing Africa. So they would do everything they can to exit Africa. Sometimes they would want to go to Europe, to America, especially via the Sahara Desert or the Mediterranean Sea, in search for what they call the greener pastures. But they forget that Africa is the best place to be and to do business. And while they try to exit the continent to go to all these different places, they forget that Americans, Europeans, and even Chinese people flock the continent to come and do business in Africa. It's amazing to realize that over the last few years, millions and millions of dollars in venture capital, in seed funding, have been poured into the African continent to lift up entrepreneurs. What does that tell you? It tells you that Africa is really the best place to be and to do business. So please transform your mindset as you travel with me, as we explore these opportunities, and think about doing business right here, not in America, not in China, not in Asia. Okay? So I've got a list here of the 10 great businesses to do during a COVID economy. My desire is, after you get to hear about these 10 businesses, you get to pick at least one, and then you try and run with it. Now, this might not be the exhaustive list. Neither can it be the perfect list. But this is out of my own observation, experience, and it comes out of my consultation with a lot of entrepreneurs. For instance, right now I'm running what is known as WhatsApp Business School, and I started doing this in 2015, and to date, I've coached nearly 6,000 people by them hearing my audio, my voice, and so out of that experience, out of me doing businesses and out of observing and reading, so I bring you this list. If at all it doesn't satisfy your need or your quest, so please take it as a starting place, as an ignition point that kind of like stirs the hunger and the desire for you to go out and maybe seek more answers to your, to the questions that you might have in your mind. All right, so let us begin. All right, the first one, as you can imagine, and I hope you can, is healthcare services, healthcare and medical supply services. Now, why do I consider this to be the greatest business opportunity? Come on, let's face it. After COVID-19, a lot more people globally have begun to be more mindful of their health. I mean, people are now more keen. People are now realizing that, oh my goodness, wealth is health. Wealth is health. And so a lot more people are going to be willing to check their health, to test, to find out if they are okay. Now, at the peak of COVID-19, there's no doubt that a lot of people were actually even afraid to visit hospitals and all that. But I just had a conversation recently with a friend of mine who owns one of the largest private hospitals in the lake zone of Tanzania. And he said that right now the numbers are beginning to pick up. A lot more people are going to clinics, dispensaries, and hospitals trying to assure themselves that they are okay. So please, if you can, get into healthcare services or medical supplies. maybe you may have a great chance. Of course, no one can guarantee you success in business. There will always be a lot of factors, a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainties. That's what business is all about. And even right here, I have an amazing quote that says, a successful business isn't about smooth, easy achievement. It's all about overcoming numerous obstacles that others feared. Right, so there would be obstacles, there will be challenges, but I think you won't be wrong if you could think about investing in healthcare services. And I know somebody you may be listening to me and you're wondering, but I don't have a degree in medicine. I didn't study pharmacy, and there you are telling me to get into this. That's why we have what is known as business partnerships. If you can find somebody who has the expertise, the know-how, the knowledge, and you come in as an investor, as somebody who can, put together a plan on how to attract funding, then you could come up with a dispensary, a hospital, a pharmaceutical, a medic, as they call it in Kenya, and so on and so forth. But millions and millions of dollars or shillings are going to be made in healthcare and medical supplies industries. So that is the first area that I consider to be really, really profitable and lucrative from COVID, especially post-COVID economy where we're headed. The second line of business that I am recommending highly that you consider is obviously agribusiness. Agribusiness. Now, when people hear agribusiness, some people don't understand. Agricultural business, all right? Now, for you to really understand this, you need to understand the broadness or the huge nature of agribusiness. So agribusiness is basically divided in three major areas. Number one, you have the agriculture, the production agriculture, where people farm maize, sorghum, beans, rice, and so on and so forth. And then there is food sector. Now, this is where it's really, really big, because people have to eat. I'm yet to come across a technology that is going to inhibit or stop people from eating but still be full or not go hungry. And I don't know if it's coming in the near future. And as you have heard, the World Health Organization has just announced that the world might go into hunger and starvation because a lot of people who are involved in the farming space, stopped producing. So food is going to be a major demanded commodity. And if you can get into this business, chances are you may succeed. But then there's another space, there's another category of agribusiness that people don't understand. It is called agricultural inputs. So here we're talking about things like fertilizers, machineries, seedlings, and so on and so forth. I have a friend of mine who lives in one part of this country. He has just focused in agricultural inputs business, and he supplies all these things across the highland southern zone of Tanzania, and he's making millions and millions of shillings, basically. I mean, in the tune of billions of shillings by doing inputs business. So consider agribusiness. I think the president of African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, has said that come year 2030, the agribusiness sector is going to be a $1 trillion sector. So think about it. So why don't you try agribusiness? And I know you might be what I call the downtown person. You live in a city like Dar es Salaam, Nairobi, Mombasa, Uganda, Kampala, or Rwanda, Kigali, and you're wondering, me going to do agriculture? I can't do that. Okay, I get it. Here's what I recommend. There's what we call crowd farming. So what happens in crowd farming, you young people who live in cities and towns, in metropolitan areas, you come together and you pool funds. You gather your capital, and then you head out to any rural area. There you find the farmers, the people living in the rural areas, and you enter into negotiation with them whereby you supply them with the capital, and then they supply you with land and the workforce. Let them farm, and then you meet during harvest time where you share the proceeds. This is already happening big time in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Somalia, and down in South Africa, they even do this for livestock. I mean, imagine, and if you couple this with technology, great things are happening. I have also begun a company to do exactly just that. It's called TBI. So I'm not just telling you to do things that I don't believe in. I believe in agribusiness as one of the biggest opportunities post-COVID where we're headed. The third area of business, which I consider very important for young people around East Africa, is retail services. And when I talk about retail, if you can couple this with delivery services, then bingo, it will be something really, really good. Why? Because we all have sinned, in spite of the fact that we were in lockdowns, and whether psychologically or quite physically, we still needed supplies. We needed retail supplies. We still went to the shop to buy salt and sugar. I mean, who would have thought that the toilet paper would probably be one of the most important commodities to ever been invented? We needed it, and we applied it, and we're still using it. So if you can consider going into retail, and I know I could be bashed by a lot of people, James, how come you're talking about something that's not unique at all? But let me tell you something. All you have to do, because this is a highly competitive space, you need to come with a lot of innovation, especially in customer service, how you deliver your retail services, how you treat your customers, and that's how you can make yourself unique in the marketplace and be able to build a different brand. So retail space, right? I even forgot to release it for you. Retail space, if you can couple it with delivery services, I think you may have a huge chance of success. All right, let's move forward. The fourth area of interest that I consider to be a really, really cool area is e-learning, electronic learning, internet learning. Now, study after study, survey after survey, they have all shown that African parents spend way more money in education than anything else. Do you remember that? I don't know in which era you were born, but if you were born in our eras, back in the 70s, our parents were willing to sell anything they had to take us to school. And that is even true till today. Parents are willing to do anything. They're willing to bend over backward to produce the income in order to pay for their children's school fees. Now, one of the things that I believe to be true is if you want to succeed in this era, try to get into business that doesn't require a lot of persuasion to persuade people, to convince people, but rather get into businesses where already there are customers. There are people who are looking for the services that you're providing. So you get to meet them at their point of need, right? So consider e-learning. That is, take the academic learning, the education, and put it online and let people get that service. I have seen there quite a number of even school teachers today, a teacher teaching physics somewhere, chemistry. They would have their own YouTube channel, and then they would upload all their subjects on their YouTube channel and even charge students to pay for those lessons. Now, if you're coming to this space, all I'm asking is that be more innovative, right? Be more value aider, or be much of a value aiding teacher or trainer more than anything else. Businesses like Shule Direct here in Tanzania by Faraja Nyarandu are doing pretty well right now. Why? Because even while children are home, they are able to access all the materials, all the lectures, all the lessons, and it's all done online. So consider doing e-learning. And it's interesting that education will never cease. No matter what happens, there will always be people going to different categories of education. So figure out where to place yourself and position yourself and then launch and provide the service of education via technical or rather internet platforms. Okay? All right. Area number 5 is local products manufacturing. Local products manufacturing. You see, let me surprise you. For example, the market for soaps and for lotions and for hair shampoos and all these things is getting wider and wider, bigger and bigger, larger and larger. And I don't know if it's ever going to be saturated or fully supplied. Okay? All is needed is for you to come up with a very good product line that kind of like leaves your customers fully excited, happy, and inspired so that you can resell to them over and over again. Now, I'm not here to promote any product, but you see, what I'm talking about is you coming up with a product like this, you know? These are products of a friend of mine who would like me to invest in his company as a venture capitalist. So this is what I'm talking about, and I'm not here to promote it, but I'm just showing you. This is a simple cream, okay, hand cream. I don't know if you can see it. I wish the camera could show. Now, I'm not very sure if it's very difficult to produce products like this, but because we have all the ingredients, we have all the trees, we have all the honey, we have all the coffee, we have all the ingredients that are needed for us to do this. I remember years ago, I visited one of the government officials, and I went to present an idea that was from abroad of a company that was manufacturing these personal care products. And when she looked at the catalog and she looked at me, she shot me with a question and she said, "Why don't you produce this yourself? Must you order this from across the world to sell to the people?" Now, she said this to me about maybe 10 years ago or 8 years ago. At that time, I was not fully I was not as enlightened as I am today, right? So young people who are listening to me, think about whatever you see that is happening at a global level. Think about how you can localize that. That's why there's a saying that says, think globally, but act locally, right? Take whatever ideas that you get globally and then kind of like contextualize them and do them in our own countries. So think about local products, manufacturing. Again, like with every other idea that I've shared with you, a bit of research, marketing, understanding the consumers, the market, the space, the sector will be far more important than just you jumping into the opportunity. So we take a short break, and when I come back, we finish with the remaining 5 business ideas or 5 great businesses to do during COVID economy. All right, so we move on with our subject, 10 great businesses to do during COVID economy. So business number 6, or the line of business number 6, is FinTech. FinTech, which stands for financial technology, right? So here we're talking about businesses that require the technology. I mean, let's say financial transactions that require technology, right? So for instance, many of you listening here, I presume because you are all coming from around East Africa, are familiar with M-Pesa services, right? That was an idea where money is now being transferred using technology. All right, and if you're in Tanzania, you probably might heard of Nala services, okay? And so many similar services where money is being transacted using technology. I believe even MLIPA services, okay, of data vision, money is being transferred via technology. It's an example of financial technology or fintech. So if you have the expertise, the know-how, the understanding of doing this, chances are you can have a better chance of success, especially if you can come up with a product that is very innovative and kind of like makes life easy for the customer or the consumer. So fintech is number 6. Number 7 is low-cost housing. Low-cost housing, or including low-cost apartments. Now, I think you and I are familiar that urbanization will continue to happen, whereby people in the rural areas will continue migrating, will continue coming to cities and metropolitan areas. So if you can design a program that allows people to access housing, right, low cost, without paying so much money, chances are you can reach so many people. Right here in Tanzania, I think every year there's a demand of nearly 1 million houses, according to these are statistics from National Housing of Tanzania, or closer to that probably, or 500,000. Can't remember the data exactly. So if you know how to partner with someone who has a real estate idea and you can produce low-cost houses, right? We're not talking about fancy homes and houses here or expensive places or expensive houses, but if you can come with cheaper, more affordable housing projects, chances are you may have a very, very powerful business and very sustainable business for that matter. Number 8 is communication technologies. Communication technologies. Now, who would have thought today that Zoom would all of a sudden be used almost by every manager or by most entrepreneurs. I run public speaking programs, and I've been able to train people in South Africa, in Malawi, in America, in India, all through Zoom technology, just from the comfort of my home. All I have is to turn the technology on, and I see everyone, and everybody joins in. They see me, the teacher. They see even the PowerPoint slides that actually run in front of their screens right after I share my screens. So if you can think through and think hard and then design a program or design a technological platform that can allow people to communicate, right? Like the likes of Zoom or Skype or similar technologies, I think you can have a vibrant business, because a lot of Africans are now looking for cheaper and easy ways. Do you know what? For me to access Zoom freely without being interrupted or intercepted, I've had to pay some few dollars, right, per month, so that I could have that service. So if someone else can come up with technologies of this nature and then price or position it in the market space with lower prices, I think you may have a chance of success in a big way. Number 8 is home entertainment. Home entertainment. Now, you understand that a lot of people will not go out, all right? People will still go out, but they will spend more time indoors. This is the new normal, and no one can deny it. So people may probably not go out very much for entertaining. I don't know how long from now, because they're afraid. They're scared of corona. But they would like to be entertained in the comfort of their own homes. How? It could be via movies, music, comedy, entertainment. So if you can design things like the Netflix that you and I know, right, that delivers movies right into the homes of Africans, or if you can think of some musical program, right, like Musically, or anything that is entertaining and that can be obtained from homes, I think you have a greater chance of success. And finally, now I saved this for last, okay, because it's one of my favorite businesses, is advisory services. What am I talking about here? Look, right now more than ever, so many people are looking for working advice. There are people who are going through a lot of anxiety and stress right now, and they are looking for someone to give them solutions for that. There are people who are going through divorce right now. There are people who are going through separation. There are people who need to raise their children, and they don't know how to do it, right? You see, children are now home. We used to have children go to school several months in a year and get to spend maybe a month or two with them at home. But now, today, I wanted to say we're stuck with our children, but we are home with our children. And sometimes it's not very easy, right? The truth comes to shove now. So this means you need to take some time to understand how to do parenting in a close way. So that provides a huge opportunity for anyone who can come in as a counselor, as a coach, as a consultant. Now, I've not even talked about business coaching and marketing and e-commerce coaching and all these things. It's going to be very lucrative. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, I don't know how to do that. How can I become a coach, a counselor, a consultant? You go to learn. You learn everything you need to learn so that you can be able to be valuable in the marketplace. All right, and that goes right along with you writing books like I write. I'm on my 6th book right now, right? And I remember years ago, I could not even write a few paragraphs of a book, let alone an entire chapter. So it also goes along with you producing some online content. Like right now, this is online content. Okay, all I needed is the camera and me standing in front of a camera and shooting this video. So broaden your mind and think about becoming an author, becoming a consultant, a coach, a counselor. And if you need help, you can hop over to my website. I give a lot of content on how to do exactly those 3 things. Becoming a speaker, an author, a coach is one of my passions, because I've seen how this has been so beneficial to me. I'm also cognizant and aware of all the help I've received from other experts and coaches from around the globe, right? So if you think you have a passion for advising people, for helping people, I cannot advise you. I cannot overemphasize the importance of learning how to offer advisory services and then make an income by doing exactly that. Now, as I come to the conclusion, I know you might be thinking, well, if I want to learn more, where do I go? All right, so here are some pathways to go. I think the quickest way to get me is to go to my Instagram account, James Mwangamba, and you will see a link tree there, which will guide you to so many different services, from WhatsApp to WhatsApp Business School, to my support group on Telegrams, to Think Biggest, to my YouTube channel, to the public speaking classes. It's all there. Otherwise, you can visit www.jamesmwangamba.com, which is my website, and you will see the information there to guide you and lead you and teach you, or how to inspire you to do more of what you want to do or learn some new skill. But again, as I said, Instagram is James Mwangamba. Yeah, it's easy. But also, I'm available on Facebook. All you have to do is write Coach at James Mwangamba. Coach, I was going to make a mistake here. It's Coach James Mwangamba. Coach James Mwangamba on Facebook, and you'll be able to receive some lessons there. But if you happen to be a Tanzanian or any East African who is conversant with Swahili, that is, you can speak and read good Swahili, then my book, The Breakthrough Performance, How to Succeed Financially in Challenging Economic Times, which is available on jamesmwangamba.com, is also in Swahili language, known as Mpenyo. Jinsi ya kufanikiwa kiuchumi nyakati ngumu, jinsi ya kufanikiwa kifedha nyakati ngumu kiuchumi. All you have to do to get that book, hop over to www.mpenyo.com, and then you can be able to access the book. And if you purchase the book, I give you a free bonus of connecting you to my WhatsApp group, where you can ask me questions of any sort, and provide you with some guidance and leadership. But I also provide a free audio book. I have an audio book that talks about 12 ways on how to raise capital for your business. That one you receive for free. So I want to thank you very much for listening. If you found value to this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel and you will get some goodies. All I have to do is to know that you did, right? And also, you can also share this video with any other person that you think the video will be helpful. So thank you very much, and may God bless you and lead you in your entrepreneurial journeys. Asante.